Hey Moneybags, it's your girl Mo. Act like y'all know that this is your show. So let's go. If you feel like we're in alignment and you want to book a one-on-one call, reading, or session with the kid, the link is always in the description below. And when you purchase any one of the methods, the Viral Mindset method, which is custom made for achieving online virality success, when you purchase the Mogul's method or Mogul's mini method, which is designed for the awakened and the newly awakened to tap into feeling safe in your power and operating from it, you get automatic access to our Discord, which is up and active every single day. There's no such thing as coincidences, so if you found this message, you found me, you're currently sitting at the center of the universe, so ground yourself in the present moment, take a breath, breathe in, feel deep into your root when you breathe. That's been coming through a lot for me personally, and I always say my intention with my videos is to create some sort of shift within you. When I speak, the universe listens because of the frequency that my voice rests at, and you might leave here with a perspective shift or a paradigm shift. My intention with all my videos is just to make you think a little bit differently about the circumstances that you're experiencing. So I got this message yesterday. We have a full moon coming up, I believe on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And even looking at one of my old journals, Scorpio full moon release back last year in January, March, April, April 23rd. And it looks like I was releasing a lot of limiting beliefs surrounding money and income. I was releasing a lot of limiting beliefs around my bad habits, releasing any insecurities within my relationship as well. Yeah. And so those are the three things: money, limiting beliefs, my habits, and then limiting beliefs regarding my relationship. That's what I was releasing last year when we had this Scorpio full moon. I don't know what the moon is, and I'm not real well versed in astrology, but that could be significant for you this time coming around. Nonetheless, though, I got this message yesterday, and I wrote it down because it was just like, damn, that makes sense. I feel like you could be someone who you have to hear it from someone else's perspective. There's no more work that needs to be done, my love. There's no more work. Oh, I just got another message. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, one second. That was crazy. Like, it would just hit me sometimes. Like, when I pick up the pen, I don't even, like, it's not even my handwriting. It just channels through. Okay. This message of transformation, like, there's no more work that needs to be done because you have already become the person that you were striving to be. I feel like you think that there's more work that needs to be done because there could be like a delay in your physical, even though internally you feel balanced, you feel different, you feel better. And it's because you've cleared space within you. You've done the work. You know, you're doing EFT tapping, you're breathing, you're regulating your nervous system, you're not reacting, you're being more responsive. Like, you're taking all of the correct steps that you need in order to fulfill this transformation, yet for some reason you still feel like there's more work that needs to be done. And I got this download, said you are not becoming, you have already transformed. You do not have to strive. You simply just need to exist and embody the transformation. You are someone where it's like, I feel like you downplay your success a lot. You downplay how far you've come in such a short amount of time, simply because you are the one who is morphing into this new version while also shedding the old version. You can't see your success. You can't see your growth. When you look in the mirror, you look the same to you, but you don't look the same. You're not the same. Nothing about you is the same, my love. Nothing about you is the same. I know it can be really hard to see yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, nothing's changed. Even if you see physical changes, you know, you could be in the gym, you could be eating differently, changing up your diet. You could see the physical change, but it's still kind of like, I feel like you're an overachiever as well. So you could see the results that you have been working for and still be like, yeah, but you'll find something else to critique, something else to nitpick, something else to work on. There's nothing else that needs to be worked on. You are whole and complete as you are. This is your confirmation. You need to hear that. There is no more work that needs to be done, because the person that you were trying to become, you have already became, and now the transformation is complete. It's complete. You don't have to keep striving for something. You already attained what it is that you are attempting to have. And the only disconnect, the only separation that is between you and accepting it is you. It's your mind trying to still rest in that struggle mentality, striving for struggle. You could have been someone who's addicted to struggle, like, and even I think that's why I mentioned, you know, what I was releasing last year for the Scorpio full moon, because because it's like, even in relationships, if you're someone who grew up in a chaotic household and, you know, you weren't taught or you weren't shown what effective communication looked like between adults, that conditions your brain to kind of subconsciously seek struggle because it's what you're used to. When in actuality, being in a relationship with someone requires a level of ease, requires a level of communication, a level of understanding, a deeper level of awareness within self to be able to balance your conditioning while also being like, yo, I want to do better for you, for me, for us, for our betterment. And you could be really working on communicating. You could be working on healing wounds, like I heard healing abandonment wounds, just like healing things that you thought you would never outgrow. That's interesting. And you're doing it. You can, you will, and you have. That was another download I got yesterday. I like to call it not like a method, like a manifestation method, because even as far as, like, you know, we talked about in the last video, belief, even in relation to techniques. What is that called? I'm asking y'all, like, you can respond back to me right now. It's the portal, Lionsgate portal. We were talking about that in the group chat. And in relation to, like, manifestation methods and stuff and techniques, it's like the technique only works because of your belief in the technique, right? So in relation to, like, this Lionsgate portal that they're talking about, it's no differently. That day is no different than every other day. It's just another day with a different title to it. And your belief in the power of the day, the potency of the day, is going to manifest whatever it is that you are manifesting all day. There is no specific day where manifestations are higher and, oh, this is the perfect day to manifest. You're manifesting all day. There is no perfect day to manifest. Like we talked about in the last video, you decide when the perfect moment is, what the perfect moment is. So if you think that every day leading up to this day, Lionsgate, is not perfect, then of course your energy, your belief in this day is going to bring about the manifestation that you're attracting. And I wanted to say that because of the I can, I will, I have method that I've created for myself. You know, when I manifest things, like, for example, I want to make $5,000 this month. So I say, I can't, and this is all while shedding money limiting beliefs too, right? So I say, I can make $5,000 this month. I will make $5,000 this month. I have made $5,000 this month. I can have $5,000 this month. I will have $5,000 this month. I have $5,000 this month. And when you repeat that to yourself in the present moment and ground in the energy, the feeling of having whatever it is that you desire, that is, for me, it's been really powerful in creating the feeling state of having what it is that I want. And I just wanted to kind of drop that into you, like give you that perspective, because it's not really like a method or a technique. It's more of just you speaking into existence what you want to experience. So you can use that method, use that I can, I will, I have, and even going back into the transformation, your transformation of still striving for this balance, even though you have balance, you are just heard you're not comfortable within the balance because it's new. You could be experiencing a level of discomfort right now, but it's not bad discomfort. It's really just because your body, your soul knows that whatever it is, like this old self that you've been operating from for so long, it doesn't have any room. There's no room for it where you're headed. The bigger the better, the more the merrier. If you were whole and complete, and mind you, you've always been whole and complete, and if you were the best version of yourself, you wouldn't be going on the journey to become the best version of yourself, right? And shadow work, just heard shadow work, so you could be doing a lot of shadow work, but I feel like you're doing too much. And there's never too much, but there is a level of detachment that I think is required from you moving forward with your shadow work. I feel like you're someone who kind of wants to get to the root cause of why do I act like this? Why do I think like this? Who made me like this? And my love, I just need to tell you, like, you just kind of have to let go and let it flow. You have to allow emotions to arise and then feel them through and then move on from them. And if you're someone who is addicted to the struggle, addicted to feeling these intense emotions internally, it can be hard to kind of separate yourself from those intense emotions because your body, your brain is familiar with them. And that is not your normal. It was never meant to be your normal. And where you're headed is rooted in trust, it's rooted in stability, it's rooted in security. And you have to allow yourself to lean deeper into those feelings instead of the comforting feelings that are rooted in lack and desperation and survival. Because when you lean into what's familiar, even though what's familiar is not serving you, that's when you perpetuate that paradigm of, I'm going back to what feels good, even though it's not serving me. And then you might wonder, why do I keep doing this? And you only keep doing it because it's familiar. That's the only reason why you keep going back to things that aren't serving you, and back to feeling states and emotional states and mindsets that aren't serving you. And it's only because your body and your brain is familiar. Your brain seeks what's familiar. And you just need to familiarize your brain and body, your mind, with the essence of peace, of calm, of security, of stability. And it's a practice. It's not an overnight thing. You have to give yourself time and grace to develop an abundance mindset, to feel comfortable, being rooted in security when you were raised and conditioned to live in a state of insecurity, instability, lack, desperation. And it takes practice. And the download I got over here was balancing. I had a little mini spiritual awakening for myself yesterday. And it kind of just made me realize that I had been operating from only half of my divinity up until this point. And this message is really specific for someone. It's really specific for men and women. But if you're someone who grew up, I'm just like seeing high school, like girls drama, or being bullied or picked on, or being overly sexualized for who you are. Like I'm seeing not overly developed, but maybe you developed at a faster age. For my girls, like you developed faster, you might have had bigger boobs, or you had some ass or something, or whatever it is. And you know, going through middle school and high school, boys, girls, they could have ridiculed you. I just heard DSL, so like, you know, we know what that means, right? We grew up in a different era. I'm 24, so you know, for my like 20-year-olds to like 27-year-olds, this could be significant for you. We grew up in a different era, I feel like, where life in school, just life and being a teenager wasn't as sexualized as it is now. But when we were in that era, when we were growing up, it was, I'm trying to figure out how to put it into words. You could just have a lot of subconscious trauma in relation to being you, right? You could have just, like I said, being ridiculed for being overly developed, being looked at or overly sexualized by boys or girls in your grade for being overly developed, or just being developed, right, for your age. And I just heard you have to shed that because you're an adult now. And I had this kind of spiritual awakening for me yesterday when I realized, like, I've been operating from only half of my divinity, because for a long time I have not, like, I've always known I'm beautiful, You know, I knew that, I feel that, I've been told that, but I was always kind of disconnected from that because I wasn't raised to lead with my looks. I was raised to, I prioritize education. I always have kind of led with my wisdom and my intellect and humor instead of combining all of my divinity together. And even though I wasn't fully aware of it until I became aware of it. And that's because I entered this level of awareness because I reached a level of balance between my masculine and feminine energy. I had been rooted in my masculine energy for so long, and now that I have created a balance between masculine and feminine energy, it's kind of like your awareness takes over, and your awareness calls in thoughts that are in relation to your highest self and who your highest self is. And I just see like a flower opening up, like blossoming. You're gonna blossom when you really accept yourself for everything about you. You have to stop half owning all of your divinity. Okay? Your divinity is rooted in your looks, it's rooted in your power, it's rooted in your beauty, it's rooted in your charisma, it's rooted in your charm, it's rooted in your wisdom and your intellect, it's rooted in all of that. You are the full package. You are not that girl, you are the girl, you are the guy, right? You don't have to define yourself or look at yourself through the lens through the lens from which other people view themselves. You know, you don't have to show up and be perfect all the time. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to be anyone you don't want to be. You just have to accept you for who you are and show up like that. Show up like that. And I even noticed a difference, you know, when I was operating from just my upper state, when I was operating from just my upper chakras, and I was operating from just my wisdom and just my intellect, it was a different energy that I had to me. And now that I'm operating from everything, because my awareness is now complete, my balance is now balanced, you know, my internal state is balanced, it's different. It's a different energy. It's just different. And you have to going back to owning all of your divinity. It's really important that you become aware of who you are in this new season of your life, because people have always known. People have always looked at you as maybe like, damn, she's that girl, he's that guy, I love her. And your fears of being perceived, I just feel like your fears of being perceived, they're irrational. Like, they're so irrational. Oh my God. You have a person, okay. You could be in the entertainment industry. You could be pursuing a life of music. You could be pursuing, you just could be pursuing a life of visibility that's rooted in, you're pursuing a life that's rooted in all of your divinity. That's what it is, bro. That's probably what the lag has been in your life, dude. You're pursuing a life that is rooted in all of your divinity, yet you're showing up as you're showing up in half of your divinity. You have a personality. And so I was watching a video on YouTube yesterday. I think it was the NX. I think it's like NK World. I think that's her name. Bomb. Her, Cameron, Susan, love their videos. But she was talking about, you know, the implications of leading with looks in the industry, and will it last? Like, is it, how did she frame it? It was like, can leading with your looks, is it sustainable in the long run? And I feel like that's a fear that you might have, which is why you've cut off that you haven't been so connected within your external look, because you don't want people to only perceive you for your looks. You want people to perceive you for all that you have. And the thing about you is like, dude, I think people already do that. Like, I genuinely feel like I just have this level of like a clarity had just kind of crept over me when I was like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Everything, that's why I said, like, your fears of being perceived are irrational, because you are already it. You're just not aware. And the more you step into more of you, the more you show up and be perceived as more of you. When you show up as more of you, because you're operating from more of you, when you're resting in your power, all of it, and you show up as more of you, you'll start to realize how people have always perceived you. You'll start to shed shame. You'll start to shed these subconscious levels of shame that are rooted within your authenticity and your divinity, simply because you're showing up and rewiring your brain to know that it's safe to show up as you. You could have been hiding. You could shrink so much. You could just be used to shrinking, used to playing small, used to downplaying your gifts, used to downplaying your capabilities. And it's so irrational because you're so dope. Like, I feel like the things that you downplay, it's like people instantly love about you. They recognize it within you. The things that you downplay, people recognize in you already. So it's like you are the one who's perpetuating this paradigm of I'm not good enough, or I need to do something better, or I need to show up differently, when it's like, nah, dude, you just need to keep showing up as you, because people already recognize you for you. They already do. They've been doing it. And it's just you. The illusion that you have between yourself and self is like, you have to break the barrier. You have to shift the paradigm. You have to get comfortable, and you have to feel safe showing up in your power. Because I'm talking to someone who's very powerful. Very powerful. Like I told y'all in one of my videos, like I used to just get people, they would be like, you're so powerful. And for so long, I would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? Who tells someone that? What does that mean? And then I had to sit and uncover more of me. And I had to get safe resting in my power. And that phrase, you're so powerful, scared me, because I knew I wasn't operating from my full power, from my full potential. So if someone is able to recognize my power, but it's not even 50% turned on, that terrified me. Because who can I be when I really embrace everything about me? When I really step into my role, who can I be? What can I achieve? You need to stop downplaying yourself. You need to stand up, keep that chin up, and go look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Talk to yourself so you can understand who you are, because these people already see who you are. Not only do they see it, they hear it, they feel it. You carry a frequency that is unmatched. You're unforgettable. And when you realize that, that is when the world will shift to meet you at the perception at which you're meeting yourself at. But your world has not shifted yet because you have not shifted yet. What have we talked about? Your world cannot change until you change. That's why you burnt out, because you keep trying to change your physical, but that internal is the same. You have the same thoughts about you, but you're thinking that your world is supposed to change and it's supposed to tell you something different about you when you haven't told yourself a different story about you. I need you to look at your reality as life telling you a story, and the story is rooted in your thoughts. Hold on. I would tell y'all to go buy it, but it's sold out on TikTok. I got this off TikTok. That's crazy. I just opened this up. Okay. No, because I even underlined this. This isn't what I wanted to read, but just listen to this. It says, the natural state of each one of us is to create thoughts and realities based on those thoughts, but remain free from what we create. What did I tell you? That level of detachment. Act like you know. Always returning to oneness. Because this thought is now defining the nature of the creator, a creator thinks she can't afford to let that thought dissolve. Identity is such a thought. You need to act like you know. Just to be clear, you and your thoughts are not the same thing. Who you are is not any of your thoughts. Let me find what I wanted to read, though. Hopefully that kind of shifted a paradigm in you, because I didn't want to read that, but I wanted to read something different. Hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Even this is underlined too. You are holding onto an idea of yourself as separate, fragmented, or flawed. You are not against the world. You are the world. In this world, you are both what you want to be and all the reasons you can't be that. Act like you know. This is who you are. Look, it says creativity fascinates people. Our very selves recognize and respond to it. That is why when we see creative brilliance in the world, something deep inside of us moves us and says, this is who you are. You may have no interest in the arts or inventions, but embracing And recognizing your nature as a creator is your real ticket to claiming true freedom and creating the kind of reality you want. It is also key to living your purpose in real life. By the way, many people think that they need to look for purpose, but purpose isn't something you find. It is something you witness happening. Like I said, you need to look at your reality and witness it for what it is, and then reassess internally. Because when you shift that internal, that is when your external will shift. No one is going to ridicule you. No one is going to demean you for leading with looks in this next season that just came back up again. No one is going to, because you've already proven that you have a brain. For all my women out there, yeah, you've proven you have a brain, my love. You've proven you're articulate, you're educated, you can talk for yourself, you can defend yourself, you can think for yourself, something that is highly disowned, has been highly just left behind in this new generation, the ability to effectively, critically think for themselves. You've proven that you can. So now step into all of your divinity, rewrite the story, claim your power back. From all those years in middle school, high school, even college, claim your power back. Claim it back. Because the time is now. What did I tell y'all in the last video? The perfect timing does not exist. You create it. Act like you know. Act like you know. It's your show. And it's your girl Mo. That's the message. That's the message. And that's what Mogul's method and Mogul's mini method. Mogul's mini method is more of a more introductory guide to Mogul's method. Mogul's method is designed to allow you to feel safe in your power through spiritual law. The whole guide, every single one of my guides is rooted in the step-by-step application, except Mogul's mini method. The viral mindset method and Mogul's method are rooted in the application framework of what it is, why it works, and how to apply it, because it's not really designed to make you believe something. It's designed to show you how it works through application so you can form the belief yourself. Because it's rooted in a lot of mindset work, self-concept work, affirmations, identity shifting, habit reset in relation to spiritual law, so you can completely transform from the inside out and feel safe operating from and living from your power. So I definitely recommend Mogul's method if that is something that you are wanting to work on in this season of your life. And when you purchase any one of the methods, you get automatic access into our Discord. Act like y'all know that this is your show. It's your girl Mo. I love you. I love you real bad. And I will see y'all in the next video.